Have you ever stood in front of your dream and felt that it was just too far, too big, too heavy, too impossible? What if I told you that the secret to success is not in running fast, not in doing everything at once, but in taking one small step again and again? This is the story of Daniel, a young man who discovered the hidden power of one small step. Daniel lived in a small town with narrow streets, small shops, and simple people. But inside his heart, there was nothing simple. He had a big dream. Daniel wanted to be a writer, not just any writer. He wanted to write books that would inspire, books that people would remember, books that would make readers cry, smile, and dream again. But whenever he sat at his desk, his mind became his biggest enemy. "You are not good enough," it whispered. "Who will ever read your words? Your dream is too big for someone like you." So instead of writing, Daniel wasted time. He scrolled through his phone. He watched shows. He made excuses. The blank page scared him. And little by little, he started to believe maybe his dream was just impossible. One cool evening, Daniel went to the park. The lamps were glowing. Children were laughing in the distance, but Daniel's heart felt heavy. He sat alone on a bench, his notebook in his lap, empty, just like his courage. An old man with white hair and gentle eyes walked by. He noticed Daniel's sad face and stopped. "Why do you look so troubled, son?" the old man asked. Daniel sighed. "I have a dream. I want to be a writer, but every time I try, I feel too small. My dream feels too big. I don't know where to start." The old man smiled softly. "Do you know how rivers cut through rock?" Daniel shook his head. "Not with power, not with speed, but with patience. One drop of water, again and again, shapes even the hardest stone." Daniel listened carefully. "Dreams are the same," the man continued. "They don't come true in one giant leap. They grow with small, steady steps. One page a day makes a book. One brick a day builds a house. One choice a day changes a life." Then the old man gently tapped Daniel's notebook. "Start small, one page, just one." And with that, the man walked away. Those words stayed in Daniel's heart all night. The next morning, Daniel made a decision. Not to write a whole book. Not to finish a whole chapter. But just one page. He sat at his desk. The blank paper stared at him. His hand trembled. But then he remembered. One page a day makes a book. And so he wrote. The sentences weren't perfect. The words weren't magical. But they were real. When he finished that single page, a strange feeling filled his chest. A small victory. The next day, he wrote another page. Then another. And slowly, step by step, Daniel began his journey. Of course, the path was not easy. Some days, Daniel felt tired. Some days, he stared at the page for hours. Some days, he thought, "Who will ever care about my words?" He even considered quitting. But each time, he remembered the stranger's voice. "One brick a day builds a house." So even on the hardest days, he wrote at least one paragraph. Even one sentence was better than nothing. Slowly, writing became less of a battle and more of a habit. The fear didn't disappear completely, but it grew weaker every time Daniel wrote. Weeks turned into months. Daniel's notebook filled with pages, his desk piled with journals. What once felt impossible was now becoming his daily routine. He no longer asked, "Can I do this?" Instead, he asked, "What will I write today?" One evening, as he flipped through his notebooks, Daniel realized something that made his heart race. He had written more than 200 pages. Without even noticing, he had created the first draft of his book. Tears filled his eyes. The dream that once felt like a mountain was now standing in his hands. When Daniel published his first book, he was nervous. What if nobody liked it? What if people laughed? But to his surprise, readers loved it. They said his words touched their hearts. Some said his story gave them hope. Others said it helped them chase their own dreams. Daniel began to speak in schools, libraries, and small events. He told young dreamers, "Don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait ready. Just take one step today. One page, one choice, one action." People listened. They felt inspired. Daniel's story became a light for others. Years passed. Daniel wrote more books. He became a respected writer. But he never forgot the truth he had learned. It wasn't talent that made him successful. It wasn't luck. It was the power of small steps, taken with consistency. Whenever someone told him, "Your dream is too big," Daniel smiled and said, "Mountains are climbed one step at a time." Moral of the story: the secret to success is not in giant leaps, but in small, consistent steps. Even the biggest dreams can come true if you move forward one step at a time.